The One and the Void, a mathematical novel Loglini, a conceptual mathematical novel that dispenses with traditional narrative, substituting human characters with operators, tensors, and topological spaces. The book presents the grand unification theory alongside 6 Millennium Prize problems to mathematically prove that reality is a holographic simulation generated by a binary code, ultimately collapsing into the absolute stillness of the observer. Chapter 1. The Theory of Everything. The Source Operator and Maya's Hologram Mathematical Framework. Quantum Mechanics, Matrix Theory, Fourier Transform. Core Equation, the Projection Operator. Metaphysical Grounding. The source is an infinite-dimensional Hilbert space in a state of absolute rest, the void. To trigger the illusion, the source applies a fluctuation operator Rias. The intersection of 0 and 1 through the exponent of action generates an interference pattern. Our world is a hologram where every local point of the matrix domain contains information about the entire system of fractal. The manifest universe is merely a superposition unfolded from a single mathematical singularity. Chapter 2. The Riemann Hypothesis. The Harmony of Zeros and the Pulse of Creation Mathematical Framework. Complex Analysis. Riemann Zeta Function. Core Equation. Metaphysical Grounding. All non-trivial zeros of the zeta function lie strictly on the critical line ray s equals 1/2. In this novel, this line represents the razor's edge, the exact boundary between Rias activity and Thomas inertia. The zeros of the zeta function are the precise moments when the observer perfectly balances the illusion, reducing it to 0. The distribution of prime numbers, governed by these zeros, forms the exact architecture used to weave the fractal pattern of Maya. To find all zeros is to decode the rhythm of the source's breath. Chapter 3. The Navier-Stokes Equations. Vortices of Rias in the Fluid Cosmos Mathematical Framework. Partial Differential Equations, Fluid Dynamics. Core Equation. Metaphysical Grounding. We define the manifest universe as a viscous quantum fluid prakriti. The Navier-Stokes equations describe how the pure energy of the observer begins to swirl into vortices, Rias, creating the illusion of density, physical matter, and the flow of time t. The problem of existence and smoothness of solutions is fundamentally a question of whether the dynamics of the illusion generate uncontrollable singularities, cosmic catastrophes, Thomas, or if the code of the source always preserves the system from collapse via the infinite viscosity of space. Chapter 4. The Hodge Conjecture. The Geometry of Cardboard Souls Mathematical Framework. Algebraic Geometry. Complex Manifolds Topology. Core Equation. Metaphysical Grounding. The conjecture states that complex topological spaces, shapes of consciousness, can be assembled from basic algebraic building blocks. In the context of this book, it serves as a mathematical proof that any cardboard doll, a human, a demon, an object, is nothing more than a combination of elementary geometric cycles of the code. Complex emotional experiences and fractal projections of the mind are completely reducible to simple rational harmonics. The human form is entirely calculable. Chapter 5. P versus NP Problem. The Architecture of the Laplace-Demon Mathematical Framework. Computability Theory, Mathematical Logic. Core Equation. Metaphysical Grounding. If P equals NP, then any problem whose solution can be quickly verified can also be quickly solved. For the observer, this equality is already a given. The source, the processor, instantaneously computes billions of destinies. Time is merely a constraint for the doll inside the algorithm, forcing it to process steps sequentially. For the Laplace demon, the underlying code, all NP hard problems of the universe are already solved at point t equals 0. This chapter mathematically explains why the illusion appears complex to us, even though its base code is elementary. Chapter 6. Yang-Mills Existence and Mass Gap. The force lines of illusion mathematical framework. Gauge theory, quantum field theory. Core equation. Metaphysical grounding. A mathematical description of how mass, matter, atoms and strong interactions emerge from empty space vacuum due to gauge symmetry. The existence of a mass gap proves that even the deepest vacuum of the illusion possesses a minimum quantum of energy. The void is never truly empty within the manifest world. It always vibrates with binary code, keeping the dollhouse from instantaneous dissolution. Chapter 7. Beeresian integration and supersymmetry. Collapse into zero, the final Somodi mathematical framework. Supermathematics, integration over Grassmann variables. Core equation, the Beeresian integral. Metaphysical grounding, the grand finale. Drawing a parallel to Parelman's proof of the Poincare conjecture, which demonstrated how three-dimensional singularities smoothly collapse into a perfect sphere. We introduce supersymmetry. We unify bosons, light, ones, Rayers and fermions, matter, zeros, atoms. When the supertrace stir of the evolution operator equals zero, all opposites annihilate. The program terminates. The painted demons, dollhouses, teddy bears, and matrices of numbers collapse back into the absolute, symmetrical, and blissful void of the observer.